Silence! It's time! It's time! It's
time for another episode of the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. Sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and get back and get back and grab a six-pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 374 of the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast. I'm host, as always, I'm Tyler, and joining me with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Rosetta Stone.
I've been humping my body pillow for 5 days now. Now it can stand up on its own.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing all right, Tyler. Went through a big old binge of watching stuff on YouTube while after work. You know, it's been sort of the routine I've been having for the past few weeks. Because, well, I need something better to do once I get off of work besides, not doing anything.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I've just been watching a bunch of old, like, Filthy Frank videos, so it's definitely been fun.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. Gables showed me these videos before we started recording. That's pretty fucking fun. One was like pickup lines in Japanese 101 was pretty good. What was the other one we watched? Weeaboos, yeah. Just look up just Weeaboos. It's like 11 minutes long, but it's worth it. Yeah, it was pretty fucking funny.
Otherwise, gaming so far this week, well, for the last week, I didn't really do too much of. Other than like, say, working and everything else, I haven't played hardly anything this week. That's pretty much a forewarning for those that are expecting me to talk about what I've been playing. But other than that, though, been working, been watching stuff. Yeah, it's been pretty relaxing and peaceful.
Nice.
How about you, Tyler?
I'm doing okay, about the same on the gaming part. Just been busy over the last 4 or 5 days, so I've been playing more Ghosts, but maybe another 4 hours. So I probably put about 8-9 hours in altogether for that, but I'll get more of that in a little bit. I do want something exciting to announce. People have listened to us for a while now, or just heard us talking about him. Justin, who recorded with us for a couple of years. It's been a few years since he's been on, but him and his wonderful fiance Ashley had a baby on Friday.
Aw, there you go.
Yep, her name is Ellie Lucille Rose Delancey.
Nice.
So it's funny. He now has 3 girls. So I told him, because it's funny because he's got 2 brothers, and like we always used to joke around and torture his mom, and we still torture his mom pretty much to this day. And I told him like this is got to be payback for real on just everything. So knowing my luck, if Courtney and I ever have kids, it's probably gonna be a girl. We're all gonna be cursed to girls for payback for what he's done to his mother over the last 20-something years. But just want to give a big congratulations out there to Justin and Ashley. Kind of a big surprise. It's kind of cool because they didn't actually know if she was a boy or girl or not until she was born. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting. That was pretty cool. So a nice little surprise for them. Congratulations again, Justin. Hope you're listening.
Yeah, big old congrats, man.
Yep, they're home now. I know that. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see. She's a beautiful little girl.
Nice.
Yeah. Other than that, I think it's just been a normal week of trying to stay safe. Wear a mask when we go out in public. I did order. There's the Extra Life has that merch store now where you can actually buy like T-shirts and stuff like that. Let me see if I can find what the link is, because I want to. It's just merch.extra-life.org is where you go to.
Right.
And they got a bunch of cool T-shirts and stuff on there, but they now have masks you can buy. So
cool.
So I ordered 2 of those. There's like a charcoal gray and like a sky blue one, like the blue they normally have on all their other stuff. So I ordered one of each of those. So I gave Courtney the black one and I have the blue one. But there's a lot of cool stuff on there. It's a little pricey, unfortunately, and the shipping is a little pricey as well, and it's been a little sporadic, to be honest. I ordered 2 shirts and they have like these like pajama pants like at the same time. like in early April, and I got the other two stuff. I got one shirt and the they're called joggers. I'm sorry, I thought they were pajama pants. The joggers. They're very tight. But I got those in like 2 weeks, and then I didn't get my other shirt until like 3 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
I was like, am I gonna get this shirt? But anyways, no, it's cool. I mean, I got these. That was literally like the week it opened up. I bought those. So, but I mean, I ordered these masks like a week and a half ago, and I got them. So it seems like it's doing pretty good now. But they got coffee mugs. They got some stickers. They got a bag, hoodies. They even have a Pride T-shirt and stuff on there too. So a lot of cool stuff on there. So if you're interested in supporting them, all the money they make obviously goes back to the charity, which is awesome. And I swear I need to get a closet just for my Extra Life T-shirts because it's getting insane. I think I'm like up to like a dozen of them now.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get the one every year for getting the $200. I think I got like 7 or 8 of those, and I've bought 3 more since then. So yeah, I'm like 10 or 11 of those deep. But and I got a kind of funny one last year too, 2 years ago. So yeah. But yeah, I just want to point that out. Check those out. I mean, it's actually really nice. They're comfortable. Like I've bought a handful of masks over the last few months at like stores, and they're different quality. Like I swear to God, one of them we bought was at this Asian store we went to. Like we get like because Courtney loves to make like steamed rice, and we bought one there and it was like $2. It's literally 2 rubber bands, and I'm pretty sure what is a cutout cup of a bra. So, and I'm not kidding. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Very uncomfortable. Hurts my face. Hurts my ears. So yeah, I was pretty happy. It was like $15, but it was definitely worth it. I mean, A, because it's more Extra Life stuff, but B, it's actually very comfortable and it works really well. And it's one of the ones because I wear glasses, so like most of the ones you buy, like they're not tight enough around my face, or like every time I exhale, like my glasses fog up. So this one's actually tight enough where it doesn't like fog up around my face. So that's cool.
Oh yeah, those are always so nice.
Yeah, because there's those ones like the disposable ones they always give you, like the doctors wear and stuff. Those ones,
yeah,
I've worn a lot of those and stuff, and I hate them because that's the same. Like I understand they're like one size or one size fits all kind of thing, but yeah, they don't work well for me. But anyways, yeah, I guess do you want to do the news stuff first? We'll just do news stuff first, Gables.
Yep.
Let's just do that. So we're going to start off, I think, we'll go in chronological order of the big showcases that we got. We're going to start off with what Gables, I think we might have got our hopes up a little bit too much when we heard the news live about a
I think we
Nintendo Direct.
misinterpreted what they actually meant by that.
So, so we knew, okay, it's partners, but we were thinking like, okay, well, they've hired Sega and Platinum to do this and blah blah blah, and they said they're going to talk about games they've already they're going to give more details in games that have already been announced. I'm like, okay, so that means Breath of the Wild 2 might be there. No, there was none of that, Gables. It was only like 8 minutes long. They said it was about 10 minutes, but usually when they say it's about 10 minutes, it's more like 12 minutes kind of thing. So I was thinking, nah, it's actually 2 minutes shorter. So the big stuff that came out of it was it ended with Shin Megami Tensei 5. Is coming to the Nintendo Switch. It's going to be releasing. It's going to be simultaneously global launch. I believe the first one ever for Atlas in 2021. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD remaster. It's 17 years since the original release. It's called Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne here in the United States, but it's coming this spring as well. I believe it's coming in October to Japan, and then in spring 2021 to America. And then Rogue Company was announced, which that was one of the new things we did hear about because they like live on the show last week. They like retweeted the direct news, so we knew they were going to talk about it. But I think it's a free to play online shooter game. It went into beta earlier in the week, I believe on PC. So now it's coming. It's out, and I believe it's out now on Switch. WWE 2K Battlegrounds was talked about. That's coming December 18th, but we already knew all that. And then it started off with Cadence of Hyrule is getting a season pass. It's going to have 3 paid DLC packs. One, I believe, already came out that day. I think it's like $15 for all of it. You can on October 23rd, you can buy a thing that comes what comes with the game and all the content for $40. But the first pack It's a character pack. It comes with 5 additional characters to join the game, including Impa, Arya, and what? Don't okay. I'm reading off a thing here, and it only
Skull
it's
Kid.
Skull Kid's one of them, but it's like I'm reading off the thing here, and it literally only gave me 2. Like it has 5 characters. It has Impa and Arya, and then it stopped. That was all of it was. It moved on to pack 2. Sorry guys. I thought like usually I go to these guys and like for like the direct news, and they do a good job breaking everything down, but they did not in this case. But pack 2 comes with is the melody pack, comes with 39 new songs. And then pack 3 is additional story content. So that's probably the one that you really want. That one includes Skull Kid and a new map. And also has new songs and a new story. So that's like kind of the way things go. It sounds like with like Nintendo DLC, where it's like they'll do like 2 parts. And it's like the first one's just kind of extra content bullshit, but the second one's the one you really want to play. But you have to buy the whole thing to get the thing you want. But yeah, I don't know, Gables. I watched this. I work nights, so I stay up fairly late and then, wake up around 11 o'clock noon every day. This was, I believe, at 8 o'clock my time. So I got up early for this one. Didn't go to bed till like 3 or 4 in the morning. And then got up at like 7:55 to get up and watch this. And even woke up Courtney on accident getting to go watch this. And I watched it and I was fucking furious. And I couldn't go back to sleep because I was so fucking mad. Because normally I don't get up for him, but I like shut up, Gables.
Okay, continue.
But anyway, son of a bitch. I mean, I'd be laughing at you if it was you that did this. But yeah, I was so excited for this, and like I'm like, oh man, we finally got a direct. And obviously we hyped it up in our heads, like we knew not to do it, but we did it anyways. Like you can hear us on as I was editing it, I can hear us on the air, like no, don't do it, don't do it. And we're like telling ourselves not to do it. Don't get pumped for this. Keep it in check. They're even trying to tell you to keep it in check, and we didn't do it. We talked ourselves into it like everybody else does, and we were heartbroken. But I don't know, Gables. I mean, I think you're probably more in the Shin Megami stuff. But what did you think of this whole direct?
To be perfectly honest with you, I was actually kind of interested in the inclusion of, say, WWE Battlegrounds being inside there. That had no business to be freaking showcased there again, and it was like almost the exact same fucking trailer that we have seen before.
Yeah.
In regards to like other stuff, let's see, the announcement of Rogue Company, that's fine. It's a free to play game. It's everywhere else, so it coming on the Switch is no big surprise, since the Switch is a very popular place for free to play games now. The Cadence of Hyrule DLC stuff looked fairly interesting. I was not expecting the little mini direct to begin with Cadence of Hyrule DLC talk. I mean, that was cool. But I'll tell you what, the best thing I felt in that entire mini direct was the news of Shin Megami Tensei, and not just like Shin Megami Tensei 5, but what totally took me by surprise is the remake of Shin Megami Tensei 3. This is a PS2 classic, quintessentially, from way back around the early to, I believe, close to the mid-2000s. This is a game that's fairly hard. I remember that series, the Shin Megami Tensei series. It's known to being pretty damn hard for a Japanese RPG. And that's because of there's like a whole bunch of like strategic elements that go inside of recruiting demons to your side, and then all of a sudden using various other methods and stuff to progress certain places. But what I'm mostly referring to is some of my time when I played Shin Megami Tensei 4 on the 3DS, and man, that game was fucking brutal. But I'm very excited that game, Tensei 3, Shin Megami Tensei 3, is coming to Switch. It'll be out next year, obviously, because it's that weird type of release schedule where the Japanese audience gets the game first, and then months down the line, America gets the port of it. What's also interesting is like the trailer for Shin Megami Tensei 5, we actually got some little bit more information upon it in terms of the story elements. Not so much of how the gameplay is going to work in this game, or what you're going to do for the various gimmick for this. However, it's fairly interesting to see that the topic of the story kind of remains much the same in regards to like a post-apocalyptic sort of setting. because previous games in the series have dealt with some bits of it. However, I've never actually fully beaten a game in that series. I'm more or less a fan, and I've played through the spin-off series of Shin Megami Tensei, that being the Persona series. That I'm a little bit more familiar with in terms of some of the monsters, in terms of some of the stuff. And honestly, you could see some monsters inside the Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturnes gameplay things where I was actually recognizing certain demons in regards to that. I was like, oh, okay, there's some familiar character stuff that I've seen before. But yes, the best inside of that mini direct was the news of the Shin Megami Tensei games, which, you know what? I have to admit, yeah, both of us had high expectations come last week in regards to the whole mini direct. I felt that the mini direct in and of itself appealed to a niche audience. However, in regards to the overall quality, I didn't think it was bad, per se. I thought it was alright, but definitely not worth the entire hate where people going on to freaking Metacritic and bombing every single game in the freaking Shin Megami Tensei series. I mean, have you seen this? It's like,
I heard
as soon as
about this, yeah.
as soon as that announcement was made in the mini direct, all these unhappy Nintendo fans, a lot of the toxic fans, went on to Metacritic, and every single game in the Shin Megami Tensei series, not the Persona, but the original series, from old games in the DS, the 3DS, the PS2, they went and review bombed it, and so it's like they're down to like maybe a rating of 2.3 or 3.0 or some sort of shit. Man, I will never understand how some fans of video games can react so negatively and think, oh, I'm going to review bomb this game as out of retaliation because it's something that I didn't want to play. Well, a newsflash for you. Nintendo is a gaming company. They have many IPs, they have many games. And who gives a fuck if your game did not get announced during this freaking little direct? I mean, seriously. But I thought it was okay, Tyler. It wasn't nearly as big of a thing that I thought it was, but at the same time, I got a lot of good things to look forward to. Both of the Shin Megami Tensei games, and the Cadence of Hyrule stuff is starting to appeal me now to where maybe I want to invest in the game when it releases physically, I believe, this October with the DLC.
Yeah. I played Cadence. I remember I bought Cadence of Hyrule like on launch last year, and it's like I think it's good for what it is. It's just that's not my cup of tea kind of thing, or maybe it's just one of those things you gotta be in the mood for. I have no disrespect towards that game. It just wasn't for me. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I was pretty pissed off about it. But that was more, like I said, it was more my fault. I knew like I shouldn't have got excited for it, but I did. But it's just, I mean, it's whatever. They have these directs like this, but this definitely felt like, and this is a lot of people have said that it's like it felt like they had like a deal with all of these games that they were gonna like put it in the direct at some point for them as like a part of like a marketing thing, and they like this would have been like the middle section of like your E3 direct or any other direct. Like this 8-minute chunk would have been, it's a 30-minute direct. That 12 to 20-minute section, this would have been it.
I kind of feel like that the news that we've gotten from Nintendo over the past like couple months feel like little chunks of an actual big Nintendo Direct that they were supposed to have last June.
Well, I wonder if it's hard to say even a big direct because I mean, really, with all they've been announced outside of they had the mini direct in was it early March I want to say.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, we've had the Paper Mario game announced, and we've had a few little things here and there. But yeah, it feels like, they just didn't have enough to make one big direct, so it's just like, all right, we'll just do Paper Mario and an announcement. We'll just do the Pokemon stuff separately. And maybe they want to do that stuff separately because I know that Pokemon does every now and again. They do their own separate thing. But yeah, it just sounds like they had like all this stuff they were contractually obligated to do. And like, all right, well, we don't have anything to put together to make this big enough, so we'll make it its own thing. And maybe they'll do their own full-blown thing next month for something. Because I don't know, man. Like, this is like, we talk about a lot, and I talk about being like concerned or worried. I'm like, all right, when's that Mario stuff coming? What else do they got for us this year? What's the big game for November for us this year? And it's like this is the first time like it's Sunday night when we're recording this. It's the 26th, and it's like we don't. I mean, knowing our luck, because as things usually go, it's like we record this and we do a good chunk of time talking about it, and then something happens that morning that totally blows up the whole conversation. I mean, hopefully that's the case. But now that I said something, it's not going to happen. But anyways, like this is the first time where like I'm actually growing real concern about the rest of the year for Nintendo. And I know like they did like a conference call and they said that like, oh, nothing is being delayed because of COVID. But I'm like, okay, nothing. I'm sure nothing they've talked about is being delayed. But I'm sure everything that's like secretly been in development has been delayed. And I'm sure it has. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we've seen all the shit PlayStation's gone through this year with Ghost and Last of Us, and then the new Xbox console is supposed to be coming out in a couple weeks before, and then because of everything going on, now the new console is coming out until November. So like they've been affected, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just like I kind of wish at a certain point they would be upfront and like. I mean, I think maybe it's just me going nuts because we don't like not knowing kind of thing. But it's like maybe you had a big blowout for the 35th anniversary of Mario and it can't happen now because of what's going on. That's fine, but just tell us. It's like, if you're doing that Mario All Stars 2 thing, talk about it, release it like a trailer or something, and say, 2021 or sometime this year. Because I think a lot of frustration is growing just from a lack of knowledge at this point and not knowing what's going to happen.
Right. I understand that completely, why people are frustrated in regards to not hearing much Nintendo news upon their first party front or even upon the releases for the rest of the year. I don't believe that they are going to be waiting a long time to announce their next big thing, only because I kind of feel like with August coming up and September coming up, Nintendo normally has usually some big games that are supposed to be scheduled towards like that autumn sort of peak, from the September to the October period. If we're going to be hearing something major in regards to it, it may be in the next couple weeks, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, the only thing that might throw it off is the fact that like there's a rumor that the state of play for PlayStation with more PS5 reveals. Well, the rumor is the rumor is there's going to be a state of play on August 6th, and the assumption it's going to be about like the blowout for the PS5. We'll get a date, a price, and some more games.
Interesting.
Because both companies, Xbox and PlayStation, have events planned for August. PlayStation has confirmed it, but it's through leaks and rumors that's bound to happen. Xbox has outright said they're going to have another event in August. Xbox, the assumption is that they're going to show off the Initiative's new game. That's supposed to be the quadruple A studio they created a few years ago. Lockhart will be revealed. We'll get a date and a price for the new consoles. Same with PlayStation. And the talk says they've both been holding back games and announcements for this event. So I'm sure they're going to have that. So I'm wondering if maybe that is throwing off Nintendo. But Nintendo's never been scared to like, as far as like, what the plan is. And I guess I was listening to a podcast, and one of the guys was talking about, he was in the business, he was saying that like Nintendo told a lot of their partners that they're not going to have a real direct until at August earliest, and this was back in March. So who knows what's changed there. So like you said, we could see something in August, but I would say definitely though, like I'm at that level where I'm not like orange right now, like nuclear disaster kind of shit. But it's like, I feel like in a couple weeks, if we haven't at least heard something, whether it's leaks or like, in like good leaks and rumors, like where people are actually talking about, not just the shit you see on Reddit, and you start seeing some details out there, or like they say something, like if we get to August 10th, we're in 2 weeks, episode 376, we're talking about, we're still at the point where we don't know anything. Like that's when I'll start getting to like that status red, status orange level, where it's like, I know they can like announce something and release in a couple months, but it's like you're gonna be fighting for a lot, and the holidays you get lost very easily in. And you talk about, you have 2 new consoles coming out this year, Cyberpunk, Call of Duty's gonna be out there. We haven't heard the new Call of Duty game. That's a whole other thing too. But Call of Duty's Call of Duty.
That's true.
They fucking released Warzone the day they announced it. So it's like they can do that.
That's very true.
Like they literally,
they're going to be fighting. They are going to be they're going to be battling for a lot of attention in regards to this holiday.
Yeah. So I'm like at a certain point they're gonna have to start getting out there and showing some shit off. But I mean, I can see at the same time they don't want to get buried by the news coming out of this stuff. But I don't know. It's just there's a lot of variables in it, and I'm like trying to like think of ways positively. Oh, maybe this is why. But it's like in the back of your head, you're like, oh man, like we already knew like going into this year, like, and this is something like we've had a lot of droughts, especially for years with Nintendo going back to the 64. But I mean, especially in the last 7-8 years, like we've had a hell of a lot of droughts too, going back to the Wii U stuff. But it always felt like we at least knew a game or two that was coming. Like we didn't have anything for a long time in the Wii U, but we knew Breath of the Wild was coming, or we knew Splatoon was coming, or we knew Smash was coming, or we knew this was coming. And it's like for the first time since really the
2015.
Really since 2015, we don't know probably longer than that, but we don't know what's coming, and like that's what's more concerning than anything. It's like, and the only stuff that we know that's coming is there's the Pikmin 3 deluxe, the deluxe thing, whatever they want to call it, is done and been ready. It was supposed to have already come out by now, but it's like the rumors that are holding it off until just in case something falls through, they can release that instead in the place of something else. Like that's their break glass in case of release kind of thing. But that's not a major ordeal. That's a Wii U essential launch title, and Pikmin's not exactly the biggest franchise. It'll still sell well because it's a Nintendo game on a Switch console.
Yeah, it's a Nintendo game, like you said, it's a Nintendo game on a Switch console, and that version will definitely sell better than the Wii U port.
Oh, definitely. But it's just like that's what we've been accustomed to, especially the last 3.5 years with the Switch. Like we've been accustomed to big blockbuster games, and that was supposed to be the whole point of like, with them bringing the 3D, like the DS and the Wii U developers together, was like we're gonna have a lot more games coming out. We've definitely been spoiled, and I'm wondering if like even before COVID, like we talked about this before, is like, oh, they've given us a big burst of games over the last few years. Maybe everybody's like kind of reloading at this point, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe everybody's reloading.
It could very well be the case. At the same time, I'm looking back at the major releases Nintendo has had this year, and I'm seeing Animal Crossing: New Horizons, and I see Paper Mario: The Origami King, and there has been a bunch of indie games that have released.
Yeah.
Even like ones that are more obscure, this and that. The most notable releases are like third-party stuff on other consoles. So, like one game that comes to mind is like Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon 2. That definitely is a good game that I would highly recommend people go through and test, play. But fact remains is we don't have like really a lot of confirmation in regards to what is going to be coming out, like you were saying. Yeah. At the same time, we have been spoiled over the past few years with the Switch. I mean, hell, over the first like year and a half and stuff, we got Breath of the Wild, we got Super Mario Odyssey, the port from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which sold like gangbusters and still sells like gangbusters.
Yeah, like we had ARMS, Splatoon 2, Mario, Zelda, Mario Kart.
Even last year, we had Luigi's Mansion 3. We had like the Link's Awakening, freaking
Luigi's
game
Mansion
and stuff, and Astral Chain,
Pokemon,
and all these other.
Yeah, no, we've definitely like. I'm not trying to complain about like that. Like it's just like, but it's like they've set a standard over the last few years.
Yes,
especially it's like
true.
We always have like, like I was saying, even with the Wii U, we always knew that we had this 1 or 2 games coming that was gonna like sell us, that we were waiting for and look forward to. And it's like lately we've had like 5 or 6 games to like look forward to.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't spoil it. Maybe it's just a case of we're a lot of. I mean, I know on the internet a lot of us are spoiled crybabies anyways. But it's like in this case with Nintendo, it's like they've overly spoiled us, and they've set an unrealistic standard of what they can and are capable of. And then also on top of that, we had the world is in a pandemic. I know that's something I've heard like people talk about is like Japan is struggling or was struggling because they are very much what their culture is about doing things in person. So the whole work from home.
Yes.
So like for us, like for a lot of companies in like Europe and North America, it's like it's a little easier to do work from home and stuff like that, especially tech companies. But in Japan, where they're big on doing in-person meetings and stuff like that. It's like it's been a big culture change. It sounds like from them. But I don't know. I'm not trying to be doom or gloom, but I mean, are you? I mean, where are you at on this whole thing? Like, what's your status? If you could put a color on it, what status you're in?
Okay, As far as what
Like
status,
a red is like the worst case scenario. Blue is you're completely fine. You're rolling around in daisies.
All right, so I'm trying to think of this color hierarchy here. So you have red, and all of a sudden you have like an orange, and then yellow, and then all of a sudden you have like a green, and then a blue, and
Yeah,
then
blue being the bottom. All right, we'll do so. Okay,
blue's the bottom.
Blue's the bottom. Well, okay, 1 through 10. 10 being the worst.
10, huh? To be perfectly honest with you, I'm at a 6 right at this moment, and that's because
It's like a salmon color. I'd say salmon. It's probably a 6.
Well, anyway, like I'm saying, it's like I'm not predominantly too worried about some things in that regards, but it's a little bit elevated because, for one, it's like what you said. We haven't heard too much of the other first party or other types of game confirmations for the rest of the year. They normally would have it announced by now, but with the COVID stuff, that's obviously put it at a delay of some form. But looking at the potential, the possibility that we may get, we could end up maybe seeing the Switch port for Pikmin 3, maybe Super Mario 3D World, maybe No More Heroes 3 will release this year, who knows?
Oh, yeah.
But it's not, say, at a red level for me yet. However, if it goes to September and we are still not hearing about that shit, yeah, that would definitely cause me concern because they are huge in regards to... The company Nintendo is huge in announcing their games for the holiday, for the beginning of the fall, and then going upwards to like the freaking winter. September, October is usually their big months. November is like a hit and miss sometimes.
Yeah.
But and obviously a Code Red stuff and like a later release that they would try to do is maybe December, but they don't really release games on like December unless it's something like really niche,
Smash,
like Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah, Smash came out in December. So yeah.
Well, yeah, that's exactly how I feel in regards to it.
Okay, well, I'm glad to see you're like. I mean, putting on a number, I'm probably like a 6, maybe like a 6.5 out of on that scale. But yeah, I'm looking at the Jeff Grubb on Twitter has what he's called the Summer Games Mess, kind of a play on of the Summer Games Fest that Jeff Keighley's been doing, where it's like a calendar, and I was just kind of seeing what is on the schedule for the like August, and it's like pretty much we have there's Xbox Day, there's a State of Play scheduled for August, but there's no dates on it. There's the DC Fandom August 22nd, which is the where it's rumored that the 2 Batman games are going to be revealed from WB. Gamescom is the 27th through the 30th, and then he has at the bottom here Wildcard Nintendo. So yeah, and he's
Wildcard Nintendo,
and he's really good at
That's
breaking.
so true.
He's the guy that released leaked out the dates for the Xbox and PlayStation events we had the last month. So
Right.
he knows the shit. So if you don't know, I don't think anybody knows. But moving on to another big showcase we had the Xbox showcase on Thursday morning. Went on for about an hour. There was 10 world premieres, 22 games were revealed, and there was a pre-show as well. They had 9 of the 15 Xbox game studios showed off a game there, and there was a pre-show, but everything they said that was shown off at the actual event will be Game Pass games, and a decent chunk of them are exclusives or Xbox first. So I think we can go through this maybe game by game, and if there's something we don't really want, there's not worth talking about, we won't talk about it. But start off with the Halo Infinite. We finally got gameplay for it, about 6-7 minutes long. Ran off 60 frames per second. They showed off. They said that the world for Halo Infinite is bigger than Halo 4 and 5 combined. They're gonna have it's going to be a little more open. We don't know if it's gonna be like an open world, or maybe it's more like something kind of like. Well, I'm thinking it's gonna be more like something like a Destiny kind of feel, where it's like a different maps like that, or possibly I'm thinking like a Last of Us Part 2, where it's just like a bunch of open sections. Perhaps, maybe we don't know for sure what's going on, but they did say that this will be that Halo Infinite. There won't be like a Halo 7 or something like that. Like Halo Infinite will be around for a very long time with constant updates, but it's not going to be like a Destiny style, live style game. It's going to be something to that effect where they're always going to be adding content to it, but it's not going to be like that always online, always ongoing type of game. But I mean, coming from this, Gables, what did you think? You just went through, played all the Halo games. What was your thoughts on Halo Infinite?
To be perfectly honest, the gameplay looked pretty smooth, but to make note, the footage that was shown was recorded from PC footage.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on the actual Series X in and of itself.
Yeah, and it was an old build, they said, too.
It definitely is an old build from what it looks like, but at the same point, a lot of the gameplay really reminded me of the original Halo Combat Evolved in terms of the gunplay, in terms of like some bits of the action about it. Yeah, there were some elements where it kind of gave the sense of an open world, but even reading some articles later on that day saying that it's not going to be generally like an open world style game. But from everything else that's been talked about and everything else that I've read up on, it kind of gives me the impression that this may be one of those games where it has a live service aspect to it. Here they're talking about this game is going to be a 10-year game, quintessentially. We haven't seen the multiplayer yet for it.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a 10-year Halo game that's going to be incrementally updated. That is going to have definitely some more probably vehicles, costumes, or whatever the hell that may be included. Who knows? The details around that are foggy. But it's kind of interesting how they would go for that sort of approach. Because even with the other previous Halo games, it's been straightforward. You have a campaign, you have a multiplayer, you go through and this and that. And I know for a fact they've been working on this game for a hell of a long time to make sure things were better than what initially was in certain aspects of the development. Like, they delayed the game initially because they wanted to rework the campaign because of how poorly received Halo 5 Guardians was.
Was it because of lock? Was that why?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, if you're playing a Halo game for Master Chief and you spend 80% of the game playing a Spartan Locke or another character, yeah, you're going to be pretty angry about it.
It'd be like if you played Last of Us Part 2 and you didn't play the whole game as Ellie, right? Like, that would piss a lot of people off, probably.
Yeah, imagine that. Oh, my gosh. But...
or like a Metal Gear Solid 2. Like, say you're playing it, and then 2 hours in you find out you're not actually playing as Solid Snake.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, not to say that happens, but I bet that pisses a lot of people off.
Oh my
I'm
God.
out of examples.
Oh my God. I remember. I kid you not. Oh man, that's a whole separate tangent, dude. But that's definitely something that I remember keenly. Like back in the day, people being very pissed off about.
What, buying Zone of Enders to play the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo 50 times, and come to find out the section of the demo is the only part you actually play as fucking Solid Snake in? Tell me about it. Fucking horseshit. They redeemed Raiden later with 4, and the badass platinum game. They redeemed him later, but
oh yeah, he was the butt of the joke of the Metal Gear Solid series for a long time.
There's that weird part where fucking he grabs his testicles. That was fucking weird. But anyways, let's move on back to Halo.
But anyway, Halo. Anyway, all testicle grabbing aside,
we can keep that apart from me.
Halo Infinite. The gameplay looked alright, it looked like it was classic Halo at its core. I did like the grapple hook aspect. It gave me sort of the Doom Eternal sort of vibe to it. Other than that, though, it is what it is. But I didn't feel like, in regards to, say, taking advantage of, say, the Series X stuff, I'm kind of like half and half with that. Because they later went on 343 Studios saying that the whole, I don't know what the hell type of rendering they were thinking about. But that's going to be after the game releases inside of a patch. Ray tracing. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Gives me the sense that, the game's not 100% complete, and it's going to be released in the form that it is come release day, which there are definitely a lot of rumors suggesting is going to be mid-November. But, I thought it was all right.
Yeah. There's also the rumor out there right now that the multiplayer won't be available on launch day either.
Oh God!
Yeah, I don't want to So I asked a couple people about that. I mentioned somebody at work who because we were talking about it on Thursday. I worked with them, and I was mentioning we just watched the gameplay at work, and we were talking about it. And he was And he's like, "Oh, look badass, look really good." And he's more into Halo than I am, but he's not like a huge Halo guy. But he's like, I mentioned that to him on Friday, and he's like, it's not a big deal as long as I can play through with my friends. And I've read that for the most part. It sounds like for a lot of the big Halo fans out there that just want more campaign. But I'm wondering how big that'll be for like more of the broad audience trying to get back, like especially the older fans that have fallen off or the ones that played Halo 5 and just moved on. I'm wondering how big the deal that's going to be. And there's been the rumor that there might be like that battle royale Halo game, or it might be a part of Halo Infinite, a battle royale mode. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised by it. However, I think that would be exactly freaking crazy if Halo Infinite launches and we don't get multiplayer day one.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that got announced earlier rather than later. Because the longer you go without talking about it, the worse it's going to be. Maybe you should probably mention that already. I don't know if that is the case. But yeah, I don't know. I watched it and I gotta say I liked it. I really liked it, and I don't know why. Because like I've talked about Halo for a long time. Or like I'm not big into it. I beat 1, I beat 3. I played a good chunk of 4. I love Reach, or I liked Reach a lot. I shouldn't say I love it, but I liked it a lot. Like it has more of a lasting impact than the other Halo games do. But coming on this one, I really enjoyed the gameplay. I think it's more so because like I'm looking forward to this one too, because it's like I remember like I look forward to Halo 3 coming out. I remember buying it on launch day, and that was a big deal, and that was fun to play through with my friends. Halo 4 came out. I played that when it came out on launch day, and I burned out on it eventually. But talking, it's just like a lot of those Halo fans, like you get excited because you get brought into the hype because of like the fans of those series. And like I've talked about before, like I could do those impulse buys because people are again, like I almost bought Animal Crossing because of like you and all these other people, and I'm like, I know I'm not gonna like that game, but like but I like first person shooter games. I like some of the Halo games, but it's like I didn't really care about 5 coming out because it just didn't seem like anybody really cared about. There wasn't that big excitement for 5 besides like hardcores. And it's like this one for the it's like I'm getting maybe part of it is me getting that hype, but watching that gameplay on my own, I'm like, that looks fun, that looks cool. I like what I see, and like going online, hearing what people say, and there's people out there being negative about certain things and screenshots. And it's like, fuck off.
Yeah,
like you could take a frame, like a single frame of a 6-second or a 6-minute video. I'm sure you could find every game that does that, a bad screenshot or something like that. But I coming from me, who's not a Halo guy really at all. I really liked it. And I got so excited. I actually went and downloaded the Master Chief Collection in 5. I'm like, if I have time, like, I'm stuck on Ghost of Tsushima right now, and I got a couple other games coming out soon. But I'm like, if there's time between here and the games coming out, or like, Extra Life, I've been looking for something to play. It's like, I don't know. I was it kind of got me like, I'm in that mood now to play a Halo game. So I'm thinking about going back and jumping into 4 and 5.
Seriously, honestly, I would, if you're going to be downloading the Master Chief Collection and stuff, I would highly recommend playing through the original first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I mean...
Because Combat Evolved, man, that game is an absolute classic. I freaking played through that game twice this year, and I wasn't intended to do that.
Wow, okay, I know you beat it twice, but... no, I remember I beat it way back on the original Xbox. So I probably played the most of 2, oddly enough, but never touched the campaign. Because I was like, well, a lot of my friends, like, they love the multiplayer, so I got stuck at their places a lot playing the multiplayer with them. It was fine, but it was like when you're like, I play this game with you guys and that's it, and these guys play it 24/7. It's like, it's not that fun.
Oh man, they definitely missed some good things in the Halo 2 campaign. Honestly,
yeah,
it definitely did give it a more epic feel and good build up to Halo 3, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean I've heard a lot of people like enjoy beside the ending, but because I have to wait forever because it ends on the cliffhanger. But
yeah, no shit.
I don't know. Like there was like people like I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's just people building up talk on this, but it's like people talking about it releasing on November 7th because it's because 11/7, which is Master Chief, which
Sierra 117.
Yeah, which I think that'd be badass for a couple of reasons. One, getting out that early, and 2, that'd be Extra Life Day.
Oh,
so if we had a Halo Infinite come out on fucking Extra Life Day, that would be bad. I'd be playing that. We would definitely be getting 3 other people to play with on that.
Oh, no doubt.
Because if I were to play this on Xbox One, I would no doubt be playing that on Extra Life Day. But maybe it comes out sooner. I don't know. But I heard that people talking about that, and I'm like, wait a second, why does that day sound so important to me personally? And I'm like, that's fucking Extra Life. And I'm like, fuck yeah, all right, let's do it. And like, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the rumor is like the 19th because that's because the 7th. I mean, they're not gonna want to release a console on a Saturday, and the 19th is the rumor because that's Cyberpunk's release date, and I think that's like a Thursday night, so that would make more sense. Thursday, Friday, but yeah. Moving on to the next. So this next stuff here, I pull up an article that's showing like everything that was shown off. So the rest of this is like. These are world premieres. I believe all these are from pretty much all these are a good chunk of them are Xbox Studios, so they're exclusives. One is A Dusk Falls. It was the interactive drama. It's coming from Interior Night, who was Carolyn Marshall is the founder of the studio, and she was a lead game designer on Quantic Dreams. But it's that it's a multi-generational story set in America Southwest about resilience, sacrifice, and how the mistakes of the old generation transmit to the young. What begins as a focused tale of two families trapped in a hostage situation becomes a sprawling epic about how people grow and change over decades. So I don't know if you remember this one, Gables. This is the one where it's like the art style and the way it moves is more like cartoony, where it's like it skips and jumps a little bit. I think the story sounds intriguing as like someone that enjoys that style, especially like the Telltale style games and like Life is Strange, like Don't Nod stuff. Like I like the premise, I like the idea and everything coming from it, but I don't like the art style at all, and like the way it moves and plays. That is a major turn off to me. I don't know, Gable, did you remember this, and did you have those same opinions?
I do remember this, and honestly, I was not interested in the least of it.
Yeah.
This isn't my kind of game, honestly. I know you're more into like a lot of the cinematic sort of like adventure game styles, like say Walking Dead and Life is Strange and stuff. But this game really turned me off. When I saw it.
Yeah, I think if it looked and moved a different way, literally moved a different way, I would be interested in it. But
moved a different way.
It seems like it reminds me of like the PSP and the Vita Metal Gear Solid games where it's like the cutscenes were like comics and shit.
Oh, the digital novel, dude.
Well, not the digital novels, but like what was the Metal Gear Solid that was on
Portable Ops?
Portable Ops, and there's the other one that's like,
Acid.
Well, not Acid. That was that shitty like turn-based card game one. There was it's like the prequel to Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh my god. Ground Zeroes.
No, Ground Zeroes is the prequel to is the one that went. Oh, I gotta look it up. I'm sorry.
VR missions.
PS.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man! It's
sorry.
Now you're getting me the.
I'm sorry.
Now you're getting me
as soon as I say it,
dig
Peace
deep.
Walker.
God damn it!
I know, right? As soon as I looked it up, I'm like, oh, dumbass. Of course, that's what it is.
Peace Walker.
Yeah, that one.
Almost threw my glasses in disgust. Anyway, I didn't mean to either. I was just like, oh god! All of a sudden, I just ripped my glasses on my face. Like, ow!
Were you upset because of you couldn't figure it out, or you don't like that game?
Oh, it's because I couldn't figure out it was Peace Walker.
I know.
I mean, the game in and of itself is pretty damn good, but
it's the one Metal Gear Solid. I never played it. I need to play it. But they have Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 on Game Pass, but they don't have Peace Walker. I was looking for it the other day. I was all excited because I saw that was on there. But it's not part of the.
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
I know, because remember I had the 360. I had the physical copy and it had Peace Walker in it. I just never played it because I didn't realize.
Dude.
Because I remember playing Portable Ops back in the day and I hated it. So I thought it was more of the same.
Man, that makes me so grateful that I fucking bought a lot of my PSP games that I used to have digitally, and I could fucking download on my Vita if I really wanted to.
I wonder if it's backwards compatible, because if it is, I'm going to play it. I need to. But
maybe.
This tells you how uninterested we are in Dust Falls, that we're talking about a PS-P game.
A PSP Metal Gear Solid game.
That's how little interest we have in Dust Falls. No offense to that game, but I mean, come on. Moving on. Obsidian was up. They had we had DLC for Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I keep doing the Outer Wilds thing, but so that's gonna be we're gonna have 2 DLC packs. This is the first one, comes on September 9th. But the other thing they showed off was they have a first-person RPG. It is Avowed is what it's called, and it takes place in the Pillars of Eternity world. I mean, I know you are definitely the Skyrim guy of the podcast. And what was your thoughts coming from this?
Honestly, they should have showed a little bit more gameplay than 8 seconds. But from initial things that I looked on it, it reminded me a bit of Skyrim from that one instance.
Yes.
But at that same point, I found it really hysterical. that Obsidian made their own version of Fallout, and it looks like they're going to make their own version of Skyrim.
Right? Yeah, they're making their own Oblivion, and they're, yeah.
As far as the game goes and stuff, it looks all right from what they reveal, but there needs to be more stuff revealed to it because it kind of looks samey to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is when we got into that weird section because they talked about, like, for the first 2 years of the Series X, every game will come to Xbox One as well. And this is like, and they would show, like, coming to Xbox Series X, Xbox One. They show, like, the thing. And there were certain games that they wouldn't give the Xbox One logo to, and this is one of them. And a few other ones we'll see. So, like, I feel like a lot of these games are, a good chunk of the games that we got out of the showcase are at least 2 years away, more than likely.
Oh, yeah.
And Avowed,
we didn't get a lot of concrete dates, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Avowed looks like it's definitely one of those. I think Interior or the Dust Falls got like a release date for next year as well. A lot of these didn't get dates, but I'll try to point out the ones that did. Then it ended with this one, but Fable was announced. This was, I mean, we talked about this. I remember over 2 years ago when they put the studio together. Or well, it's Playground Games, people that make the Forza Horizon games, but they put like another team together to make the next Fable game. And it was supposed to be like, this was like right after I remember this was like the summer after Horizon Zero Dawn and Breath of the Wild came out, and like they wanted, like, Xbox wanted their version of that, and they were gonna give them the Fable name. It was like a 10-second long thing. There was some, it started off kind of serious, but then we got the the humor that we're used to from a Fable game. This one did say just only said it's coming to Series X and Windows 10. I mean, we didn't get any gameplay or anything like that, but Gables, where were you when they announced this one?
I honestly wasn't surprised that they were going to reveal a major game in that regards at their end of their conference, because I had to admit it would have been either one of two games. It would have been Fable or it would have been Perfect Dark, since I've been hearing a lot of rumors of both of them.
That's the rumored initiative game that the people are thinking is going to be at the August event.
Yeah. Well, that would make a lot of excitement, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. However, honestly, when I first saw the trailer and I immediately saw a sword, I'm thinking, yeah, that's just Fable. And
yeah, exactly.
Watch the initial trailer and everything else, it's like, it wasn't a bad teaser trailer, but yeah, they really are hitting it home in terms of games that they're going to be coming out at least a few years ahead. Because if they're just showing a teaser trailer, they are very early on in development for this game.
Yeah, and I mean, probably a couple of years, maybe 2.5 years at most at this point. Because like I said, it was like that summer of 2017 that like the rumors came out there, putting a team together to make the next Fable game. But yeah, this game is probably 2 years, 3 years away. Especially with it's not having the Xbox One logo on it. Yeah, I mean, I get if I can do something different with this event. We talked about, I was talking about last week, like people, Nintendo perfected the Direct and PlayStation's done it too, and a lot of other people have done it too as well, like Ubisoft, and pretty much everybody's done it. But Microsoft was like the last one to finally figure out how to do it. Where it's like with a good event, especially digital ones, you start with something big and you end with something big. And I think they would have been better off if they would have swapped Halo and Fable around. Start with Fable. Fable. I want that game. I want a Fable game. It's a Halo game in a Fable world. But put the Fable at the beginning. Hey, I mean, everybody knows it's happening. Everybody knows Playground's making the game. It's out there. Everybody knows. Just fucking show it off. Then end with Halo. I think that would have been a bigger ordeal, because this one's kind of ended on like all right, cool. Like, I mean, if the leaks weren't out there forever, this would have been an exciting news. But the fact that everybody's known about it literally before the game was even in pre-production, it kind of took away some of that excitement. It's like, okay, finally, cool, you guys revealed it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it because it's a different developer. It's not Lionhead Studios. But I mean,
and also the fact that you don't have Peter Molyneux hyping the game into the fucking ground.
Yeah, like he was his own worst enemy there. But
yep.
It's like I think about Halo or fucking Fable, where it's like, think about Fable. It's like we've had Fable 2 is probably widely regarded as like a really great game. Fable 1 is a really good game. Fable 3 is trash. There was that Fable Legends game. There was that Connect game. There was multiple like arcade games. Like,
did that game actually come out?
Yeah, the Fable Legends, I believe, was the one that was in beta forever and then finally just got canceled. if I can remember
Oh,
correctly.
I see.
But it's like they ran Fable into the ground fairly quickly after they,
Oh,
after
it was
2.
downhill after Fable after Fable 2.
Yeah, Fable 2 was, I love Fable 2 back in the day, but it's like,
Well, yeah. I did like Fable 2 as well, especially since it did have some fun diversions and stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as the original. From what I've heard, I've never played the original Fable,
Yeah.
but I heard the original was pretty darn good.
yeah,
But I remember it, like, retroactively, people loved the original Fable. They did not like Fable 2 as much. It was sort of a mixed reaction, and it was mostly due to the fact that the campaign in of itself for the main missions was only around 8 hours long, with plenty of side missions if you chose to do them. But it was relatively short for a Western RPG, and people really took it back from it, and that's why not a lot of people wanted to give the time of day to it back then.
yeah.
I know, having played Fable 2 fairly recently, where it was like maybe a month or two ago because I wanted to, that's actually one of the few games that don't have like an Xbox One like downloadable thing where the graphics actually look like they've improved or anything. It's actually still looks like the same muddy type of game.
Oh
it
god,
was
that's like
whenever
what,
it
2008, 2009.
That was a 2009 game, I want to say, and they didn't make any type of touch-ups in terms of up-resing. Yeah, fun fact. But you know what? Even so, I'm glad that there's a new Fable game that's in development. I hope that what we see the future down the line remains good, and I hope it's better than the last couple entries.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the thing. Like, it's exciting to hear and it's cool, but I wonder if that name is gonna, like, this game could be really badass when it comes out. I'm hopeful for it, but I'm wondering if the Fable name will hurt it or help it more when it comes out, or as we see things, and like the general public when it comes out on store shelves. Then we also had Forza Motorsports. This is actually, they said, early in development. So the fact that it's didn't even have an Xbox One logo on it as well. But it says it's going to run 4K, 60 frames per second, have the ray tracing, all the tech words you want to hear about the new consoles. But I mean, they show off a little bit about it, like some stuff, and looks gorgeous. Always got to take that stuff with a grain of salt, though. But I think what's shocking is, like, last year would have been a Motorsports year. And we didn't get a Forza game last year. We're not getting a Forza game this year. When everybody was talking about, okay, they're obviously holding off on the Forza game for the Xbox Series X. Like, that was the assumption when they didn't release one last year, because we always get Horizon, Motorsports, and they rotate every year. The fact that, so it's been, 2017 was the last Forza Motorsports game we got, and they're saying it's
Forza
still
Horizon
in
4, I think.
Yeah, and Forza Motorsport, not Horizon, but Forza Motorsports game.
Motorsports 7, I think it was.
Yeah, is that the last one? I'm looking up a release date for it right now.
I think it was.
October 2017. So it's been almost 3
wow.
years, and they're saying this game is in early development.
That's interesting to me.
Yeah. So, like, what the fuck has been going on over there? Like, are they just like working on a new engine? Like, I want to know more what's going on with this game. But I mean,
Well, maybe it's because they had been working upon DLC aspects for Motorsports 7 and Forza Horizon 4, potentially. But at the same time, maybe they're gathering resources in order to get as many deals or many types of various car brands and stuff inside there. From looking even from the conceptual trailer at what they revealed, it definitely looked like they put a lot of effort and work into how freaking crazy realistic it looks in regards to what we saw. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I almost couldn't tell between it actually being a game, even though there were some parts that sort of, some things that kind of indicated it, and like an actual full-on real race.
yeah, I agree. It's a funny story. The other day, a couple days ago, I was watching, because they have the NBA and the bubble stuff going on, and I was just watching some highlight clips and stuff. Just kind of want to see what it looked like when they're playing. And
Oh God.
it was right after I watched the Xbox showcase, and I was watching it, and Corey's like, "Is this the new NBA game?" I'm like, "No, this is just what's going on in the bubble right now." She's like, "You're fucking with me. Quit fucking with me. This is the game, isn't it?" I'm like, "No, this is real. Like, this is really happening." And she does not to this now does not believe me that was not the game. Like, that's all. Like, she gets fucked up sometimes. Like I was playing Last of Us And she's like, "Is this a movie? Is this a?" She like thought it was a real actual movie I was watching at first, and not a game. But I don't know. But I get like that's kind of the same idea with the Forza game. Like it looks pretty, very pretty. But it was like we got more from the Gran Turismo game last month than we did from this one. But I don't know. It's just weird to me. But moving on, we have the Gunk. It's from the SteamWorld creators from Image and Form, I believe is their studio name. They made the SteamWorld Heist and the SteamWorld Dig games. It's called the Gunk. It is a all-new adventure in a vast exotic world where you'll encounter terrifying enemies and challenging puzzles on your quest to unravel the mystery of a forgotten planet. It's kind of like a 3D platformer, it looks like. No release date or anything like that, but I don't know, Gables, what did you think of this game when it was shown off?
It definitely seemed ambitious from what I was looking at. It has a lot of potential in regards to the quality of the build itself. I do trust the developers of SteamWorld Dig because they've put out some great games over the past 5 years with SteamWorld Dig series and like SteamWorld Heist, I believe.
Yes.
But we have to wait and see. I definitely like the atmosphere of the game, and it looks like it may have a lot of interesting elements to it. So I'm keeping it on my radar for now, but it's definitely on that borderline list right now where it has some interest, but I need to learn more about it.
Yeah. So I looked up. It has it's coming to Series X, Xbox One, and Windows PC with the date as September 21st, or September 2021, I'm sorry. And it's obviously coming to Game Pass. But yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely in that same boat with you where it's like, I mean, I trust these guys, the SteamWorld guys, because I really only liked Heist. I thought Dig was cool, but it wasn't. It's not my style. Dig 2, a lot of people had that considered like one of the best games of the year, and that came out in 2017. And we talked about 2017 being one of the greatest years of all time for gaming, and people have it up there. So yeah, I same with you, where it's like this. It's one of those things where it's like I'm keeping an eye on it. I want to hear more from when it comes out. But we'll get into more of this as we go on. But it's like this is like more reason why the Game Pass thing is awesome. Where it's like this game like this like is something all right, maybe I'll play it, but it's like from what we've seen so far, I mean, unless things change, but it's like this is definitely something I'm probably going to play when it comes out because of Game Pass. But yeah, I mean, I want to see more from it. But it's a big change because they've primarily done so far. They've done all 2D games. Like the Dig games are both 2D platformers. Heist is a turn-based like XCOM style 2D game, and they had the one last year that was like a turn-based fighting game as well. I can't remember what it's called though. Next up, we have Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. It's we have some new content coming to that. That's something they announced previously, but I don't know. I don't really have anything to add on that one. Gables, you?
Honestly, I don't have too much to add to it. It's an MMO. It's definitely a series that people have been wanting to play for a long while. Especially, man, anything Phantasy Star Online 2.
Yeah.
To be put into perspective, Phantasy Star Online 2, or even that series in of itself, began in 2000, honestly. I think it was either 2000 or 2001 on the Sega Dreamcast.
Yep.
Definitely had its own cult following. And even, actually, the first Phantasy Star Online was on the GameCube as well, and it was one of 3 games that you could play online with the GameCube's broadband adapter. But I forget the other 2 games. However, that game in of itself definitely has a strong cult following. And the second game in that series, like Phantasy Star Online 2, that had been on the PlayStation Portable, if I'm not mistaken. Or there was some Phantasy Star Online game on the PlayStation Portable that you could connect to online and do this and do that. But it was mostly just in Japan. I believe more recently this year, it was one of those free games you can actually play on your Xbox One if you got Game Pass. But what we were looking at right here is an actual expansion that's coming next year for Phantasy Star Online 2. Honestly, I'm happy for the fans. I'm happy for the fans. They're going to get to enjoy something new in regards to a game that they're very much enjoying. At the same time, I really can't get too much into this MMO because I'm not a fan of the Phantasy Star Online series as much.
Yeah. It's cool. It's finally over here to play, but it's like new content. That's awesome. But I don't think that's gonna move too many needles.
You gotta honestly, for any type of MMO stuff, you gotta wow me in order to try to get me to play the game. Because after World of Warcraft, no.
Yeah. Next up, Stalker 2 was revealed. I know Stalker is something I've heard about a lot over the years. It's been a big game on PC especially. But the second was announced. But it was just a teaser trailer. When it was first shown, they were first shown, I'm like, are we getting a new Metro game already? Or teasing the next Metro game? And I thought maybe the series of the franchise is over and taking a break for a while, but nope.
Oh, can I just say this though? Between the announcements for Stalker 2, the Warhammer 4800 trailer, and also the freaking Crossfire X game.
Oh yeah.
It definitely had that feeling where it's like, oh, hey, here's a Metro trailer right here. Wait, it's not? And it's like, well, here's the same type of feel. And then there's another type of feel.
Yeah.
For like 3 or 4 consistent trailers where it's just brooding and like everything else is in black and white and almost post-apocalyptic looking.
Yeah. No, I got that. I get that for sure. But yeah, I don't know much about the Stalker games, so I don't. I know there was definitely some excitement to it, but I don't know if it's gonna. It's not the biggest stuff that's coming out of it. But next up, State of Decay 3 was revealed. I guess this game is like not even in it's like in pre-production. So that game is probably a ways off, but I'm hoping it plays. I remember being really excited when State of Decay 1 came out and buying it and playing it. And remember the game just ran like trash. And it's a survival game, and it's not so I don't like survival games that much, but it's like, I remember the game just running very poorly, and it turned me off just off that alone. But trying to get into it, and from the sounds of things, like State of Decay 2 had the same issue, so I hope...
It did have a lot of issues with the game,
Yeah,
yes.
so I'm hoping that, State of Decay 3 runs better, but I mean, the only thing we have is a teaser of there's like a zombie deer eating a wolf. But I don't know, the game's a ways off. It's going to be on Game Pass, though, so maybe when it comes out in a few years, it'd be cool, but I don't know. I mean, they need to wow me and prove to me that they can make a game that actually runs well before I get super excited about anything that they do. What about you, Gables?
Honestly, I didn't really care too much about the trailer. Not really interested in State of Decay.
Yeah, I get that. But Tetris Effect Connected is coming this holiday. It's going to have a bunch of online and co-op modes. And it's more fast-paced with a lot of music to it. I'm not a Tetris guy at all, but I mean, I know you got Tetris. It was 99 when it first came out. I don't know, were you excited about this one?
Honestly, Tetris Effect, I haven't really tried. It definitely has a good aspect to it. I mean, it's Tetris. I'm gonna play Tetris regardless. So that in of itself looked fun, and definitely with a big old multiplayer influence. That's not like a freaking battle royale style game.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, playing Tetris 99 was fun. However, trying to compete against other people and trying to complete things as fast as possible, that was so difficult to do.
Yeah. Well, it's like Courtney's surprisingly good at Tetris. And I remember on Extra Life, she wanted to play games with me for a little while. And we played the Tetris 99, and she was like, "Oh, cool, we get the Tetris game to play." And it's she's like, "I hate this." It's because she's trying to play, and then someone just drops a shit ton of stuff on her, and it's just ruin because she just wants to play Tetris. She don't want all the other shit. So,
and then the fact you have to buy the single player components separately whenever released.
Yeah, and there's everything all the. I get it's a free to play game, but still, it's I'm good on that. Okay, well, moving on. War. You already mentioned Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tides coming out 2021. I don't care.
Don't care.
What about you? Same? Are you the same boat?
Same.
Okay.
Definitely the same, man.
Yeah. So
every time, dude. Every time that anything freaking Warhammer related pops up, I automatically think of that PS3 game that I played.
Yeah.
The first words that come out of my freaking head: Space Marines.
Yeah.
Space Marines.
I was getting ready to mention that game. It's I remember I don't
Marines.
give two fucks about Warhammer. But everybody
every 3 minutes, dude.
Everybody kept trying to sell me oh, this game's bad, it's great, you'll love it. I'm all right, so I went and played it, and I played the first level. I'm like, fuck this game. I don't like this game.
The only thing I remember about that game wasn't the combat, wasn't the story. No, it was the fucking aliens or something the orcs or whatever the hell they were trying to attack you, and they're just screaming, "Oh, it's Spice Marines! Oh, Spice Marines!"
Oh man.
Oh man, I I deleted that game so fast on my PS3 because it was that Warhammer game was supposedly a pretty good game, but I could not get past the first level.
I remember playing that first. I'm like, no, no, I don't trust anybody anymore about their opinions. But you mentioned it already, but Crossfire X, this is coming from the Remedy people. People that made like Quantum Break, Control, and Alan Wake. So this is one of the first ones that we had a caveat there. I rewound it and I watched. There was like some wording at the bottom where it's like they said everything at the beginning of this press conference was coming to Game Pass. And this one, or it's a Game Pass or free to play. There's a couple games that are free to play that were shown off, but this one they said the combat is free to play, or the multiplayer is free to play, but the single player is not coming to Game Pass. So
that's odd.
Yeah, I thought I was kind of shocked by that, but I'll say this: like it looks kind of like a generic combat Call of Duty style ripoff game, but it's Remedy, so I'm gonna give it a shot and I'm looking forward to it. So that's all I'll say. But apparently the Crossfire is a legendary PC franchise, which I didn't even know that was the case. But I heard that there's like a beta out there for Crossfire X multiplayer and it's trash. So whatever. I guess there's an open beta out there. Okay, so I'm reading this. So there's an open beta that came. Oh, because they're having that this week they had that. It ends tomorrow, but they have that there's a bunch of demos out you can play. And the Crossfire X multiplayer was on that, and I heard it's pretty bad. So, but I don't know. I don't know what to expect. It's supposed to come later this year, but it's on my list of I'm going to pay attention to when it comes out, because I like Remedy. The last 3 games they released, Quantum Break, Alan Wake, and Control, I loved. So for that reason alone, I'm looking forward to it. But I think you mentioned earlier that you don't care.
Yeah, in regards to like the Crossfire X stuff, it has potential, but it did not really hit home with me. I thought it looked bland. Yeah,
no, I get that. And like I totally admit that. Like it looks boring shit and bland. It looks like I said, generic Call of Duty game, but it's Remedy, so I could give it a shot. So moving on, this was kind of a shocking news, but Destiny 2 is coming to Game Pass, and all of the content, including the new content Beyond Light, will be coming to. Oh wait, I thought that's what I'm reading this now, and I thought it said everything was coming to Game Pass. I'm going to read this whole section here. Bungie presents Destiny 2 Beyond Light, the next chapter of a critically acclaimed action and sci-fi epic universe of Destiny 2. Join your fellow Guardians in bringing down the Empire at any cost, even if it means wielding the darkness itself. Destiny 2 will come to Game Pass in September, providing members access to all the current Destiny 2 Standard Edition expansions, including the Standard Edition of the game, which is already... Oh, yeah, so it is. Yep. So the Beyond Light expansion that comes on November 10th is coming to... So Destiny 2 will become the Game Pass with all of its content out now in September, but even the new DLC, Beyond Light, will be coming to Game Pass as well when it comes out November 10th. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. And I believe Destiny 2 has cross progression, doesn't it?
I'm not 100% sure. It's been a long time since I played Destiny 2.
Yeah.
That is awesome that they're having all the DLC with freaking Destiny 2 when it comes to Game Pass in September. Even the Beyond Light stuff. I looked on PSN most recently, and the Forsaken DLC alongside with the Shadowkeep thing is even with discounts, about $30-something right now, but it does not include the Beyond Light. So even if, say, you are a fan of Destiny 2, you're going to be more inclined to play it on the Xbox One come September because you're going to have all the DLC stuff basically for the same cost as paying $15 a month on Game Pass.
Yeah. I think that's kind of badass, actually. Because we're not huge Destiny fans, but we definitely we both enjoy Destiny 2 quite a bit. We played all the Destiny content, the original Destiny content together.
Yep.
And then we both bought the season pass for the first season pass when it came out. And I played through, I think, most of that, but I played the first pack, not the second pack of that. I don't know, but I think that, unless they have the light shit Because remember, he's like, your light level has to be this high. That kind of sucked. But
that was
a turn off for me.
Bullshit thing.
Yeah.
The Rise of Iron stuff. We couldn't even play that damn DLC stuff because our freaking light level was too low.
Yeah, it wasn't even. And it wasn't that it was too low. It was like it was too low, but it was also the fact that like we were hours of content away from even being able to play it. So it was like, never mind. There's like 2 hours of content in there. Like I'm not gonna put in 10 and 15 hours to play that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, if they that excites me a little more. It does have cross progression. It came out last August. Yeah, I don't know. That's cool. I think that's a big get for them. It's kind of funny because I was like, Stadia is like one big thing they had. It's like, hey, we're gonna give you, like last year they gave away the big Destiny 2 content drop if you bought Stadia at launch, and it's like well, you lost Stadia, you lost Destiny already to Xbox, so well, you guys are fucked. It's like we're gonna fuck you with xCloud now. We're gonna fuck you by taking your biggest thing away from you. Then we had Everwild, which is the rare game. It was revealed last E3. We still I don't know what the fuck this game is, Gables. I'm assuming it's going to be some online live content kind of game like Sea of Thieves.
Here's the thing. I was looking into it. They don't even know what the fucking gameplay for the game's going to be yet.
Oh, okay, cool.
And to be perfectly honest with you, that's why it's all over the place. But I'll tell you what. I don't know what they're going to be aiming for this game. I mean, it looked... Well, the trailer of it looked okay, but I'm not interested.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not a huge Rare guy anyways. I like the Donkey Kong games. GoldenEye was cool back in the day, but I know it doesn't hold up well.
Yeah, like even Banjo-Kazooie or Blast Corps.
Yeah.
Or Perfect Dark.
Yeah. But
I'd take any of those games over the freaking game that we got.
Yeah, I'm sure you and a lot of people would too. But this game, one of those other games that didn't have the Xbox One thing on it, so it's Series X PC. Well, yeah, that game's obviously ways off. But yeah, I just don't know what it is. So like, it's hard to like talk about because we don't know what the fuck it is. But then next up the show, Grounded, which we know a lot about. We've seen a lot of it's coming out. It's Obsidian's other game, comes out July 28th, so on Tuesday. So just a couple days away as this is recording. It's a co-op survival game where like it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of thing, and like, but it's a video game. It looks fine. I don't like survival games though. Everybody knows that. But I know there's a lot of excitement for this game. And it's like up to 4 people online playing together. It's coming to Game Pass. I don't know. That once again doesn't really excite me. But what about you, Gables?
To be perfectly honest with you, I didn't have really too much interest in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the recurring theme of this showcase.
Yeah.
Folks.
No, yeah. The Medium was shown off next. This was one of the ones they showed off that was revealed back in May with the third-party thing. And that was like one of the games that stood out. That was like probably the only game that stood out to me.
Right.
And showing this one off, got some gameplay of that. It comes out this holiday, but this is a game I'm actually really looking forward to. This is one of those things where it's like, this is why Game Pass is a cool thing, where it's like, maybe I never would have played this game, or I would have like waited for a sales style game, but now it's on Game Pass. Like I definitely want to check this out. It's that weird, like you're in dual realities, and you got to work, like you have puzzles you got to solve, like it split screens off, and you got to play through both of them. But it looks very different. I don't think I can remember a game like this before. But I don't know. I think this is one of the standouts so far for me for games announced this year. I know it's been a wonky year, but as far as games being revealed this year that are coming this year, this is one of the ones that I'm definitely looking forward to. Hopefully, it's just a holiday 2020 game, but I'm assuming we'll get a release date for it with Xbox's event next month. But I actually really, really am looking forward to this game. What about you, Gables?
I'll tell you what, the game definitely has a lot of potential. I did see the side-by-side stuff that they were doing for split screen in one dimension and then the other for the whole aspect of the exploration. Some bits of gameplay we did see. I'm kind of confused, though, if this is like a third-person like survival horror game or if this is like some sort of various action game.
Yeah, I mean...
But I will say...
Sorry, now it looks like a survival horror type of game, but go on.
Okay. From what it looks like, it is definitely fairly interesting. I do want to know more about the story aspect of it. This may be one of those games that may be a sleeper hit. I get that vibes, honestly, because, like I said before, the game looks like it's got a lot of potential in terms of storytelling and definitely in terms of the aesthetics. And honestly, these type of games that, like survival horror games, they're very hit and miss. Either you nail them directly and you just hit that sweet spot like a Resident Evil 2 or an Outlast, or you can do the completely opposite and mess up everything like a Resident Evil 6.
Why
But
do you gotta bring it up, man? Oh, it so hurts.
but it's like what I was saying. The medium definitely has a lot of good potential. I do want to see more of it when it definitely comes out. Not sure, from personally, in my opinion, it's going to be worth buying a Series X for, but I may be wrong. So I'm going to wait and see.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely, I'm going to hold reservations on this, but I don't know. I mean, the fact this is going to be, it's one of those things I probably would have waited for like reviews to come out before I would have pushed the purchase button on. But obviously, this, being Game Pass, this is perfect for that. Then we had Psychonauts 2, had a trailer, but it was mostly Jack Black singing his song. But this was quietly, didn't even, like, it was supposed to come out this year, but it's quietly, like, announced later on that it's been delayed to next year. I don't think there was a timetable as far as, I'm searching here for, like, there's a timetable. Nope, just says next year. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's the first time we've actually got gameplay for it, but I'm not a Double Fine fan. Like, I like the Costume Quest games, but that's about all I like from them. But I don't know, Gables, what was, I mean, are you a Psychonauts fan? Are you looking forward to this at all?
To be perfectly honest, I'm a fan of 3D platformers.
Yeah.
But I gotta admit, man, seeing a bunch of the gameplay for Psychonauts 2, oh my god, the damn thing's so psychedelic looking. It must be one of those worlds and stuff where the brain, where I think it's Laz or something, goes into. It's just totally psychedelic. It just kind of really reminds me of like some sort of LSD like trip, because there was so much color, there was so much like obscure like freaking symbols and this and that and stuff, where it's like, oh god, what the fuck were they smoking when they were coming up with the level designs for this game? But it did look cool. It did look fun. Obviously, Tim Schafer gets Jack Black to go through and sing one of the intro songs, because I know those two are pretty close. But honestly, I'm highly disappointed because it being delayed until next year. So they definitely had it probably as an Xbox One game at one point, where now they're just going to be putting in some more work, some more time in it, and it's just going to be a Series X style game. Yeah.
I'm happy for the people that want it. And if it comes out and does well, and once again it's coming to Game Pass, maybe I'll check it out then. But I'm just not, that style just doesn't really intrigue me. But a game that does intrigue me very much is Tell Me Why. Is a Don't Nod game. It is
I knew this would appeal to you.
Yeah, it's coming exclusively to Xbox. People from Life is Strange games, everybody knows I love the Life is Strange. At least 1, 2 was good, but not as good as 1. But this is the one that has like the twins, and one of them is intergender. Sorry, or trans. I'm sorry, trans. And the first, so it's gonna be 3 episodes, and this is something I love when I heard this. So the first episode, I didn't realize it was gonna be chapters until they announced chapter 1 comes out on August 27th, and later on I found out it's gonna be 3 chapters. But come to find out that all 3 chapters come out within 2 weeks of each other. So
2 weeks.
Yeah. So August 27th we get chapter 1. The September 3rd we get 2, and then September 10th we get 3. So
that does not make any fucking sense.
So there's 3 chapters, and we get them all 1 week apart.
Dude, honestly, that does not make any freaking sense, because why would they do it in week intervals in that regards? I'm
guessing because it's just, that's just the style that Don't Nod works at. They do episodic. That's just the way they do it.
Well, yeah, but even then, like certain games that are episodic usually takes either like a month for the next episode to release, or even that regards, but like a week.
But that's why I love it, because that has been my biggest complaint with these with like Telltale and the Don't Nod games, where it's like, I think a big reason why like I kind of fizzle out on these games, like I beat them, like the Telltale games and like Life is Strange 2 and actually the Deck 9 one, Life is Strange Before the Storm, I waited for all 3 episodes to come out, and I played them all at once. And I love that as one of my favorite ones. And Life is Strange 1, I played episode 1, and I just waited a little bit, and I played the other ones, and I loved it. But like Life is Strange episode 2 and like Walking Dead had the company close midway through it. But you've seen that. I mean, I've seen it so many times before where it's like you go 3-4 months sometimes. But I mean, like Life is Strange 2 took over a year to finish. It was the first episode came out like August or September of 2018, and the last episode didn't come out until like I think November of 2019. And it's just like the gaps are so far. Like it was ridiculous. I thought was like they gave you dates like after the episode 1 came out, they gave you dates for the rest of the series. I'm like, why wouldn't you just waited 6 more months than like release them sooner or made the spread out less?
Yeah.
Because like I mean, like Walking Dead season 1 was perfect, where it was a month apart. It took 4 months to release all the episodes. It was perfect. And like having that schedule, setting that schedule, stick to it, I think is perfect. Maybe that's what Xbox wanted. Maybe, I don't know. But I just love the fact that like they have like that rollout, it's going to stick. And it's not going to be that far apart. Like if it was a month apart, I'd be okay with that. Like that'd be fine. Okay, cool. We'll have the last episode in October. Or even like a couple weeks or 3 weeks apart. I'd be fine with that. But it's like, that's a big reason why I love this. Is the fact that like we have a schedule and it's tight, and I love that. It's like I'm not waiting, 6 weeks. And I'm like, what the fuck did I do in like episode 1 that was 9 months ago? Like what was? They'll like they'll try to do that tie back to something that happened then. It's like I can rewatch a movie. Like Courtney and I like we've been like slowly going through the Marvel movies. We watched the first 4, because she's only seen a couple of them and I've seen them all, and it's kind of cool like going back. And it's like, oh my god, they paid this. Like something I forgot about, but like they paid that off, 10 movies ago. Or it's like it's easier. Obviously, it's really easier to rewatch these movies and like as like and like remember things than it is to fucking go back and play a game.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. I just love the fact like as someone that likes episodic, it's gotten really out of control this generation, and I'm happy to see like hopefully this is it coming back a little bit and like getting their shit together a little bit more. But like I like this. Like the game's gonna be done when the episode 1 comes out, but. I mean, I know you're not into the episodic games like I am. These are my games, but they're more my games than yours. But yeah, I think the story looks interesting. They're really good at creating very good characters, and they're doing a really good job of dealing with like touchy subjects, like with like Life is Strange 2, dealing with you're dealing with 2 Hispanic brothers. Life is Strange 1, you're dealing with a lesbian character and a character that is kind of going through like, am I lesbian? Am I straight? Am I bisexual? Like and like that wasn't like the broad part of the stories, but they definitely touch upon it and they deal with it, and it's a factor in the characters in the game. So they've done a good job of dealing with that and not making it like, hey, look at this, we're dealing with this character, or like we're not doing it just because of like to make publicity. It's just a part of this human that doesn't make the human. So. I trust that they'll do it and they're going to handle it well. Yeah, I don't know. I'm extremely excited for this. Obviously, I'm a Don't Nod fanboy, but like you said, I don't think this is your acceptable game. But I mean, I don't know. You don't have Game Pass, do you?
I don't.
Okay, all right. I couldn't remember.
Honestly, I don't.
Okay.
But who knows? It may change pretty soon.
Yeah. I imagine around November it will.
Probably.
But so that was the end of the stuff from that. There was also a pre-show. I'll run through those real fast. Did you watch anything from the pre-show?
I did watch the pre-show. Yes.
You did. Okay, so we had the Balan Wonderland Square Enix game. It's a platformer. This didn't do anything for me. Did the Balan Wonderland do anything for you?
To be perfectly honest with you, this is definitely like a Nights in the Dreams style game, because the same makers that were behind that Saturn classic were the ones responsible for making this game. And honestly, a little fun fact, this game's coming to Switch as well.
Oh, okay.
Because I saw the announcement trailer on YouTube.
Oh.
So definitely, there is some interest in it. It's definitely aimed for a younger audience, but at the same time, I do believe that this is definitely a style of game I would enjoy, because I do like 3D platformers, and this definitely has that type of feel. But yeah, you know what? For the most part, I feel like most people are just going to look at it as like, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's coming spring next year. Then we had Dragon Quest XI S Echoes Elusive Age is coming to Xbox One and One X, Series X, whatever, on December 4th.
Oh, dude.
I think that,
You want to hear something?
yeah, go ahead.
If you want to hear something that's interesting, this game's going to be launching Dragon Quest that Dragon Quest game on
It's Game Pass, right?
the Xbox One. Yeah, the Game Pass and everything else. But what's interesting is that game's going to be $40 come retail stuff. And for the people that bought that game, that original game on the PS4, there's no actual DLC or updatable thing for the things. So they are going to have to buy a fucking $40 game in order to get the latest shit that was included, not even like a year and a half ago that was released on Switch?
Yeah.
And I know some critiques of it is it's not too much of an improvement over like what the Switch's visuals and stuff was at, from what I've been hearing. But I'm glad Dragon Quest is coming onto the Xbox platform for more people to enjoy, because that's a legendary series.
Yeah. No, I'm happy that it's coming to Xbox for sure. And the fact I believe it is coming to Game Pass, what they said too. So, even better. Next up was a game called Echo Generations. It's by a studio called Coco Cucumber. It's coming next year. It's a turn-based adventure game with a gang of kids investigating supernatural occurrence in their small town. It has a bunch of side quests, you battle monsters, you level up. I loved this trailer. The art style at first, it was like, oh, this looks like a Minecraft kind of rip off, and it still kind of does. But for some reason, it gave me like that, like I mentioned earlier, Costume Quest. Like it gave me those Costume Quest vibes.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Some reason it just like, I love Costume Quest, even though it's like a simple turn-based game. I really liked that game, and it's like I can't wait from that. Like I'm really looking forward to that game. It looks really, really good. Do you remember this one?
I do, actually. I thought it looked pretty interesting because of the graphical fidelity of it. It looked like an actual Xbox Series X game, because you could see the shadowing, the things, and what it looked like ray tracing inside of some of the gameplay footage. But it looks like a unique concept, personally.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it looks good. I'm looking forward to it. Next game that was shown off was Exo Mecha. It's coming out next year. It's a free-to-play competitive mech shooter game. I don't know. This did nothing for me. What about you?
Same. Didn't really do anything for me at all.
Yeah, it's a battle royale game. There's a dozen of those every month, seems like. Next up, we had Hello Neighbors 2 was revealed. I don't know anything really about the Hello Neighbor game, so I know there's an audience.
I didn't know really anything about this game, honestly. I saw like the first game advertisement when it was first released, but I didn't really know any type of gameplay until I saw this trailer for its sequel, and I'm like, God, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of stealth-wise, like, interesting. But other than that, though, it didn't really do anything for me either.
Yeah. Then we had a Watch Dogs Legion trailer, but that was whatever. This is stuff they announced that was going to be optimized for Series X. A bunch of games have been out for a while that they're just upgrading for it. Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, Sea of Thieves, and Gears Tactics, which isn't even out yet. We don't have a release date for it. It's supposed to come out to Xbox One this year, but it's coming out to consoles later this year. This is one of the games, honestly, I was really looking forward to being announced at this event, but I'm wondering if it's going to be announced at the next event, because it's like the XCOM Gears game. But yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that yes. So that was, these were all other games that are shown off to be optimized for that. And then we had the independent game, like, the Hodgepodge trailer, like 2-minute long trailer. They showed off 12 minutes, Dead Static, Drive, XO1, Lake, Last Stop, Mad Streets, Sable, Shredders, Song of Iron, The Artful Escape, The Ascent, Big Con, The Falconeer, Tunic, and Unexplored 2 were shown up in this. Did anything of those stand out to you?
No.
Okay. I had a few. The 12 minutes one where it's like you're like having like a dinner with your wife, and then like you wake up, she's dead, and you have to replay those moments over and over again, kind of like a Groundhog Day, and like things change as you replay it. That was revealed a couple years ago, and I don't think we have it's supposed to come in later this year. So I don't know if that. So the only thing I don't like about this is like we don't really know like concrete news on like if this stuff is coming to Game Pass or if it's just independent
Right.
games coming. Like because this was a pre-show, so we don't know for sure. But it's like some of these games, like 12 Minutes stood out to me. Last Stop stood out to me. The Song of Iron, Artful Escape, all those stood out to me. Tunic did too. That was the No Man's Sky, I believe, game they're making. It's like the Zelda style game. All those stood out to me, but I don't know if they're coming to Game Pass or not. But yeah, those games look cool. But I mean, overall, what was your thoughts on the show game, Gables?
All right. Pre-show thought it was okay. But for the actual game showcase, I felt that there were aspects that were definitely underwhelming. And why I say that is because we did get a whole bunch of theoretical trailers. The only gameplay stuff that I could remember from it, Halo Infinite, some bit of Psychonauts 2, and then Tetris Effect. What's also interesting to note, there were plenty of console launch exclusives, but in terms of how many of these games you're going to be playing on, like, say, an Xbox One S, some of the major games that were unveiled there, like a Fable, and, like, say, well, there's a few other games, definitely are probably not going to be playable on the Xbox One S, it feels like to me, in that regards. But a positive thing I could say about this game showcase, they definitely have doubled down, tripled down hard on Game Pass as a service. That in of itself, I feel, is a good thing for them, since that is something they're heavily banking on in terms of the next generation. That being said, I do have a couple concerns. One, in terms of their biggest game that they showcased, Halo Infinite, I definitely got the feel of a live service sort of aspect of it. It makes me wonder, for big name games that they're probably going to maybe support for years down the line, like a Halo Infinite, maybe like a Forza Horizon, maybe like a Forza in general, because like what you've said previously, this Forza game that they showcased just started development. So I'm kind of wondering, and I'm just speculating at this point, I'm not saying this is guaranteed, are we going to be seeing more, say, of Xbox One, like first-party games, go to a stylings that there's going to be less of them released and support sort of like similarly as like a live service? Because Halo Infinite definitely gave off that vibe. Forza does have the potential, but what I'm mostly concerned about is if that's the case, I wonder, in terms of the quality of Game Pass games that will be on the service, are we going to be seeing a dip in terms of quality? Because think of it this way. When games release, say, for certain services, you get like a mixed hodgepodge of games that you are either interested in playing or you're not. You know, you pick and choose what games that you want to play on the service that's available. What I'm worried about, personally, is if I invest inside of a Game Pass, are the quality of the new games that are going to be coming out, are they going to be even lesser? Or are they going to be having key fundamental things missing from release? And I'm especially concerned about it during the next generation with the Series X because of the fact that there's actually like no guarantee that for future game releases that it's not going to be like, say, a sort of beta gameplay sort of thing where they're going to release it on the Game Pass service for people to download and play and then do incremental updates throughout the months, or you got to pay additional things for expansions, kind of similar to what we're doing now, but maybe like on a bigger scale to where less games released, more to put in terms of extra stuff to try to compensate in terms of higher development costs on their end. But anyway, like I was saying, the two concerns that I have are definitely stuff that could potentially happen, but may not. Who knows? But getting back to the initial thing at hand, before I went on my ramble there, I felt that the game showcase in of itself was definitely disappointing in terms of gameplay perspective, in terms of getting me hyped about buying an Xbox Series X. If anything, it gave me kind of the same impression that I've had when, for the whole PlayStation 5 stuff. I mean, I love the PlayStation 5 reveal and the game surrounded there, but at the same point, it gave me almost the same impression to where I don't need to invest now. I can invest in a few years from now. Because a lot of the games I would be interested in, especially inside this Xbox Game Showcase, with the exception for like Halo Infinite, are going to be a couple of years down the line. Why would I want to go day one and buy a new system, like an Xbox Series X or a PS5, if the games that will be released in the future are not going to be available until very far out? That's one of the main things that I have issue with in terms of the Game Case Showcase. Because even though we did see a lot of reveals in terms of world premieres, in terms of games that are potentially going to come, a lot of the game concepts I was not interested in. There's only maybe 3 games in the entire showcase I personally felt interested in. Halo Infinite, because of the gameplay and because of how it was presented. Psychonauts 2, which actually has been confirmed to be delayed until next year. And Tetris Effect, which, you know what, it's Tetris. I'm going to love to play it either way. As long as it has a good single player, and I get addicted to it, by playing it over and over and over again. With those two, with like Psychonauts 2 and Tetris Effect out of the way, I just have Halo Infinite, and I could invest in Game Pass and play it on my Xbox One S.
Yeah.
So there is honestly no reason for me to be tempted to buy a Series X in this case. So in a grand scheme of things, I would give the showcase a 5 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
How about you, Tyler?
Like, I'll say this, like, and still a term from Michael Hubert on Easy Allies. A lot of the big games coming from the big Xbox game studios, looks like we're gonna be swimming in 7s. At least for the next year or so. Where like nothing, like Halo looks awesome, like looks really cool. I'm excited for playing that. But it's like, and like I'm looking forward to Medium. I'm looking forward to like Crossfire X, but like we talked about already, it's like I don't think it'll be good. Just looking forward to it. Tell me why. But it's like a lot of these games they showed off here, it's like they're coming to Game Pass and things like coming to the Xbox and stuff like that. It's like didn't really blow me away. Where like it's like there's a couple like all right, cool, but it's like they're gonna have, it's like this quantity over quality kind of a thing they're going for with like we're gonna have a lot of good games, possibly really good games, but we're not gonna have those great games. Where it's like maybe Hellblade could be one of those great games, like Halo might be one of those great games, like Fable in a few years from now. But it's like everything they show off, like, and you can sit there, I don't want to be like, people like, look at Sony, they didn't really show off any shit. But it's like everything they showed off, like the things we talk about being excited for, especially like Horizon and Spider-Man, where it's like those games were like Game of the Year contenders when they came out, and Game of the Generation contenders too. And it's like we didn't get gameplay from them, no, but like the fact that we're getting more of them is exciting to people because we left off on those games. They were badass and they're awesome. We want more of those. And it's like everything we seen from this. It's like all right, Halo's obviously had a rough decade. Fable's had, we already talked about Fable, but it's had a rough run of things. But it's like everything else that was shown off, it's like we didn't get gameplay for, or it's stuff that's ways away, or we got very little news on it. It's just like, it's like the big things that could potentially be big a couple years from now or a year from now. It's like we don't know anything on. It's like you said, like they talked about this whole thing about, well, you don't need to buy a Series X for, everything coming to the Series X will also become the Xbox One as well. And it's just like, and I already mentioned before, as soon as I said that, it's like any thought of me getting a Series X went out the window. It's like, okay, well, it's like I'm going to get PS5 at launch. That's my plan. I could play all the games I want, and there's very few games that I want to play on their Xbox exclusive, and usually when I do play them on Xbox is because they're Game Pass games, instead of me buying them, I play them on Game Pass. But yeah, maybe that's the issue where they bought so many studios recently, is like everybody's either wrapping up what they're already working on and now they're moving on. Like Avowed might be a big thing for them a few years from now. Forza's probably a big thing. Fable, like I said, Fable. But it's like they did not do a good job of like wowing me on the near future. Like I'm talking about the first 12 months, 18 months of this console. When we look at like at least in the first year and of the PlayStation 5, we're gonna get Horizon 2 and Spider-Man, and we might have more later. We don't know that for sure, obviously, but it's like Xbox needs to go in and win this. And it's like PlayStation is going in out in front already. It's like they are going in with the benefit of having won this generation by a wide margin. And it's like they can get away with not showing as much. If roles reversed, we'd be saying the same thing about PlayStation. This isn't a Sony pony thing or anything like that at all. It's like, I love Game Pass. If anything, I would say this about Xbox. They have done an excellent job of selling Game Pass. I mean, that maybe that's in the end, that's their big thing. But it's like, that's most important to them is selling Game Pass. But it's like, I come in looking at this where it's like you want to sell the box, not, I mean, Game Pass is important, but you want to sell me that box. And they didn't sell me that box. They sold Game Pass really, really well. And it's like, I have the Xbox One X, and it's like, I'm excited for some of these games I talked about for sure. I'm going to play these games when they come out on Xbox One X. I'm not going to buy Series X for them. But I don't know. We talked about last week. This is probably the most important presentation for them since the original introduction of the Xbox back in 2000. And
yeah, and they were underwhelming.
Yeah.
Absolutely underwhelming.
I'm not gonna say it's a 5. It's like a 7. Like, there's a lot of games there that intrigue me, and I'm interested in. But it's very much like we talked about, where it's like we need a banger after banger after banger, and a lot of bangers, and we got one banger, like possibly in Halo, and the rest of these we got teaser trailers for that could potentially be bangers.
They could,
and that's the big thing. I like. It's like I said, like the quantity over quality thing. It's like, cool, you're gonna keep me coming back to Game Pass with these pretty fun, 7s and 8s games. But it's like, how many like Nintendo games and Sony games, if you want to compete with them, where it's like, and be in that same mindset, where it's like, how many? It seems like every year there's 1 or 2 PlayStation or Nintendo games, especially the last few years with Nintendo, that are Game of the Year contenders.
Exactly,
and it's like.
And I didn't get that sense or feel from this conference where it would have been like, oh, hey, this is a Game of the Year contender. This has the feel of something being big.
Yeah, and
nothing like that.
I'm thinking back to like how long we've been doing this podcast for. We've done 7 Game of the Year, 7 Game of the Year top 10 lists, and over that course of time, I've had 2 games that were Xbox exclusive on my list. I had Gears of War 4. That was in 2016. That was like, I think 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Gears of War 5 was number 1 for me, but I've said over and over again, 2019 was not a very good year. Like, if you put Gears 5 out this year, it maybe would have cracked my top 5 right now. And we're in fucking July. And I love Gears of War 5, but I'm a Gears fan, admittedly, possibly fanboy. But yeah, I just like, when's the last time a big Xbox exclusives come out and blown us away?
It's been a fairly long
It's
time.
been very long. That wasn't, that wasn't like a, exclusive for a little bit. It wasn't the launch exclusive, and they need to have that. And maybe in 2 years from now they'll have that. And maybe it's like the issue of like they bought all these consoles late, or all these publishers and devs late. But I don't know. I'm still looking forward to the future of them. And like I said, there's a few games in here that I'm looking forward to, like the Gunk, Halo. The Medium are games like Crossfire. Those are 3 of those games coming out this fall. But these aren't like, these would not be on Tell Me Why. Another one's coming out in just a month. But these are not games that I would for sure buy day one. These are games like I'm going to play because because Crossfire X isn't. But like the other 3, those are on Game Pass. That's why I'm going to play those games. And maybe that's what's important to them most. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was disappointing. I still enjoyed it. It was a fun ride, but like in the context, like if you look at it in a bubble, it was a good presentation. But you look in the context of how important it was, you're selling a new console. You did not, and both have had this issue where like even PlayStation 5, like yeah, they showed us some badass games, but like they announced badass games, but they haven't shown us why we need the new consoles. And like we haven't seen the power of the PS5 or the Xbox Series X yet. We've just heard about it.
Until I test it with my own hands and see with my own eyes how these games will perform on either of the next gen systems, I'm not convinced that I should buy day one.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm going to buy the PS5 day one just because it has the new Spider-Man. I admit that. And we haven't even seen the game, but I just know I want more Spider-Man. But yeah, it's like it's a weird generation where it's like usually they like we see like here's the power, here's what it looks like, and it's like I don't know. Like Halo looks fun, but it also doesn't. It looks like a Xbox One game, you know. But I don't know. But oh man, we're like an hour and 50 minutes into the show, so I think we only have one more topic. We're just gonna save it for next week.
Good
is there
idea.
anything you want to talk about? We've been playing real fast because I don't have much to say.
I don't have much anyway.
Okay, cool. So I think I've been playing Ghosts. It's still good. I barely touched the campaign. I go to do missions and I spend 3 hours going off chasing foxes and gold birds around and doing other missions. So yeah, that's all I've done this week. So I don't have much to add on that. So I think that's going to wrap us up for this week, guys. Thank you so much for listening. You want to hear more from us? We're on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all those places. Look up Drunk Dash Nerds, Drunk Dash Nerds Pod, Drunk Nerds Pod, Drunk Dash Nerds Podcast, Drunk Nerds Podcast. Look us up. Just look up Drunk Nerds. You'll probably find us. Follow us, subscribe, leave reviews, 5 stars, like us. Whatever you guys can do to help us in those places, you can do that. Hopefully here soon we'll be on some more places. I think I'm trying to get us on Amazon Music, Amazon, the Audible, Ghana. I guess it's really popular in India, and a few other things. I've set us up to try to get us on here soon. So just search us if you listen to those, and that's more convenient for you. Check us out in those places too. But I was host. I was Tyler.
And I have been Colonel Gables. Until next time, everyone, play some fun games. Definitely enjoy yourselves in this time of need. But most importantly of all, thank you for listening to another fun-filled episode of the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Hey, Gables.
Yeah.
Too sweet.
Rosetta Stone.
All right. I'm going to go hump my body pillow. See you guys. Bye, guys.
Oh, God. See ya.
Excuse me. Few too many beers there. Anyways, we're on iTunes now, so go on there, check us out, and if you like us, leave us a review, and we'll even shout you out. And Jack will send you his credit card number.